It is Monday. It's the 9th of September. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center, live from Hong Kong, making news today. We live in a dangerous world that we need to stand up to. The words of the U.S. top diplomat as he defends America's plans for possible military strikes on Syria. Secretary of State John Kerry is in London, where he has just held a joint news conference with his UK counterpart, William Hague. Kerry said the risk of not acting is greater than the risk of acting, and he insisted the White House has compelling evidence that the Syrian government did use chemical weapons on its own people. Well, over in the United States, Congress returns to Washington on Monday after a month-long summer break. Syria will, of course, be right at the top of the agenda as President Obama presses his case for a military strike. But he could face some strong opposition, particularly in the House of Representatives. CNN's senior White House correspondent, Brianna Keeler, is live in Washington for us with more on that. Brianna?
Hi there, Monita. President Obama is trying to convince Americans, and he's trying to convince Congress. And
interesting stuff there. All right, Brianna, thank you very much for that. Brianna Keeler there, live for us from the White House. And despite Washington's ongoing campaign, though, to get support for a military strike against the al-Assad government, China has not been swayed either. David McKenzie explains Beijing's steadfast refusal to intervene in Syria.
A warm greeting between President Obama and Chinese President Xi Jinping.
You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Australia's Prime Minister-elect Tony Abbott is getting down to business on his first day in office. We'll take a look at the challenges he faces. CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. Norwegians are voting today in parliamentary elections. Early polls suggest Jens Stoltenberg's days as prime minister could be coming to an end. Some Norwegians are accusing his Labour-led government of wasting the country's economic boom. The opposition appears confident that a central-right government will be elected. Well, it was a busy first day for Australia's Prime Minister-elect Tony Abbott. Mr. Abbott held meetings in Canberra where he said that scrapping the carbon tax would be top of the agenda. He will likely be sworn in next week. Sky News Australia's Stan Grant joins us now live from Sydney with more. And Stan, good to see you. It's interesting, though, if we put it in perspective, that scrapping the carbon tax is at the top of the agenda for him.
Absolutely, Monita. This is not something that he's campaigned on for the past 3 years. He's been campaigning.
Let's bring you up to date on some of the other stories we're following for you here at CNN News Center. Pakistani President Asif Ali Zardari stepped down Sunday after completing his 5 years in office. He'll be succeeded by Mamnoon Hussain, a close ally of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Zardari and Sharif are longtime political rivals. At least 6 people have been killed in clashes between Islamist rebels and security forces in the southern Philippines. The rebels, believed to be from the Moro National Liberation Front, had planned to march to Zamboanga's City Hall in their fight for independence. 20 people have been taken hostage. London's Metropolitan Police has apologized to the Queen's son, Prince Andrew, after officers stopped and questioned him in the gardens of Buckingham Palace, suspecting him of being an intruder. It follows a serious security breach the day before. A man scaled the fence of the palace and broke into the building. He was arrested on charges of burglary and trespassing. North Korea is celebrating its 65th anniversary. The country considers September 9th, 1948 as the founding day of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. And the private life, I should say, of leader Kim Jong-un There's a new tropical storm in the Atlantic. Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center with more on that. Hi, Mari.
Hello, Monita. Yeah, this is Tropical Storm Umberto. It's all the way out here in the Atlantic for you. We'll keep watching. Umberto, back to you.
Really interesting stuff there, Mari. Thank you very much. Sure. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. We're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Japanese stocks have hit a one-month high. Tokyo's winning bid to host the 2020 Olympics encouraged investors, along with stronger-than-expected economic growth figures. On Saturday, the International Olympic Committee announced that Tokyo had beaten both Madrid and Istanbul to host the Summer Games for a second time. And as Paula Hancock reports, almost everyone in Japan is pretty happy about it.
Tokyo residents rush to read the news. The greatest sporting event on earth will be back here in 2020.
CNN Tokyo.
Serena Williams won her 17th Grand Slam at Flushing Meadows in New York. She beat the world number 2 in 2 hours 45 minutes. Rachel Nichols sat down with the woman still going strong, 31.
I don't know. I just feel really good. I feel really relaxed. I don't know. I just feel like I just go for broke now.
Well, the men are they're playing tennis as well. They continue their final. Well, it's Rafa Nadal versus Novak Djokovic at the U.S. Open men's final later on today. You're watching CNN News Center. I'm Monita Rajpal at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. I'll update you the news headlines in just 2 minutes.